Top 10 Unbelievable Places Where People Actually Live. Number 1. Castelfalla de la Roca, Spain. Castelfalla de la Roca is one of the most picturesque and smallest villages in Catalonia of Spain. This village with 1,000 residents is situated on a narrow strip of basalt rock, barely 2 houses wide at places, which rises to a height of 50 meters and stretches for a kilometer. It is set between the Fluvia and Toronel rivers. This old town is made up of narrow streets of medieval origin. Most of the houses here were built with rocks and volcanic stones from the region. While it feels very remote, the town is only about 2 hours' drive from Barcelona. Number 2. Santa Cruz del Delilot, San Bernardo Archipelago. Santa Cruz del Delilot is a small Caribbean island, located in the San Bernardo Archipelago, just off the coast of Colombia. It is the world's most crowded island, where about 600 people live on the length of 2 football fields. More than a century ago, fishermen were said to have built the island on a coral platform, as a place of resting, during fishing expeditions. Content with its beautiful location and lack of mosquitoes, the fishermen started settling there. Today there are 90 houses on the island, 2 shops, a restaurant and a school that does not go beyond the 10th grade. There is no sewage system, no running water, and only 5 hours of electricity is through a generator. Drinking water is provided every 3 weeks by the Colombian Navy ships. There is no cemetery, so the dead are buried in the nearby islands. There is no crime on the island, and so there are no police presence in their island. The inhabitants of Santa Cruz del Delilot earn their livelihood through fishing and tourism, but most of them work in the resorts of the surrounding islands. Number 3. The Gas Mask Island, Japan. Miyakejima is the island where everyone wears a gas mask. Miyakejima is a small Japanese island, about 180 kilometers south of Tokyo. It is host to Mount Oyama, an active volcano that sits at the very heart of the island. In June 2000, a swarm of 17,500 earthquakes and massive volcanic eruptions rocked Miyakejima, leading to continuous leakage of poisonous gas from the ground, making the place uninhabitable. By September 2000, Japanese authorities had ordered a mandatory evacuation of all Miyakejima's residents. With the intensity of Oyama's volcanic activity diminishing, many returned. Now there are around 2,000 residents in Miyakejima. As it emits poisonous sulfur dioxide gas with very little warning, the 3,000 residents, as well as any visitors, are required to always carry gas masks with them. The volcano consistently spews sulfur dioxide into the sky, causing alarms to sound for inhabitants to don their masks. Despite its unpredictability and reputation as the gas mask island, the residents of Miyakejima are fiercely proud of their island home. While almost a third of the gas mask town remains restricted, the remainder of the island has hiking trails, bike paths, and beautiful scenery. Number 4. Principality of Sealand. Ruffs Tower is a Montselsea fort that was built by the British in international waters during World War II to deter German air raids and to prevent attempts to lay mines by aircrafts in this important shipping channel. It is located 7 miles from the eastern shores of Britain. After their successful wartime career, the forts were decommissioned in 1950. The platform covers an area of 550 square meters. Since 1967, the decommissioned Ruffs Tower has been occupied and claimed as a sovereign state by the family and associates of Paddy Roy Bates. Bates declared the independence of Ruffs Tower and deemed it the Principality of Sealand. In 1975, Bates introduced a constitution for Sealand, followed by a national flag, a national anthem, a currency, and passports. Today, the Bates family governs the small state as hereditary royal rulers. Throughout the years, Sealand has issued coins and postage stamps, has an official newspaper, and posts an online newspaper. Sealand is often referred to as the smallest country in the world. However, it has not been officially recognized by any sovereign state. Number 5. Floating Islands of Uros, Peru. Peru is home to approximately 2,000 Uros people. Around 1,200 still live on the floating islands of Lake Titicaca. Harvested from vast beds that grow in abundance on the lake, the humble tadora plant forms the backbone of Uros life. Homes, boats, and the islands themselves are all made of tadora reeds. To make an island, the Uros people create a sturdy but light base tying together layers of tadora roots. Tadora roots are naturally buoyant at the time of harvest. They've preserved a floating lifestyle for hundreds of years to protect themselves from invading groups. If a threat emerged, they could simply move their islands elsewhere in the lake. While this worked for a while, both the Incas and Spanish eventually discovered their islands. The Uros Islands are floating on the Peruvian side of Lake Titicaca. The Uros live primarily by fishing, bird hunting, and gathering bird eggs from the reed beds. Children attend kindergarten and elementary school on Uros. However, older children continuing their education must head to the mainland. Number 6. Mount Fanjing, China. Located in the eastern Guizhou province of China, Mount Fanjing is a jaw-dropping pinnacle, hundreds of feet above the valley floor. It features a pair of ancient Chinese temples 7,600 feet above sea level. The two temples were originally built from Yanla period of Ming dynasty, about over 500 years ago. The present temples have been rebuilt according to its original look, with iron tiles to protect from the strong mountain wind. Both the temples have one hall each. There is a bridge linking between the two temples, above the deep gold sword gorge. Around 1,100 live in the lower area, around the temple. It is mostly occupied by caretaker monks. To reach the top, visitors have to walk up more than 8,000 steps, or take a cable car ride up from the road below. Number 7. Matmata, Tunisia. A small town in southern Tunisia, Matmata is best known for its underground caves, or troglodyte structures, which house around 2,000 local Berber population. It was not known until 1969 that there were regular settlements in this area, besides wandering nomadic tribes. From the outside, it just appears as holes along the hillside. That hole is the entrance, with a short tunnel leading to the interior courtyard. Tidy rooms are connected from the courtyard, leads into other parts of the home through a system of tunnels. The rooms are designated for sleeping, cooking, eating, or socializing, just like a normal home. Each tunnel connects back to a courtyard. The courtyard for the underground home is important, because it brings in fresh air. It's also a central location for family members to do chores and connect socially. Number 8. Whittier, Alaska. A 14-story building that used to be a military barrack, today makes up the entire town of Whittier. All 220 residents, a gas station, police station, church, and video rental shop are located in one building called Whittier Towers. There is only one tunnel to enter or exit the town, and it opens twice every hour, shutting at night and reopening the following day. Each summer, Whittier gets 22 hours of sunlight, and in winter it may get covered with as much as 20 feet of snow. Nestled between glaciers and lush mountains, Whittier is the gateway to stunning Prince William Sound. Number 9. Tunnel Sap Floating Village, Cambodia. Tunnel Sap is Southeast Asia's largest freshwater lake, providing livelihoods for over 10% of Cambodia's population. 80,000 people live on the water permanently in houseboats, which create pockets of 170 floating villages throughout this 1,042 square mile lake. These villages have floating markets, clinics, schools. Tunnel Sap is one of the world's biggest inland fisheries, producing over 400,000 tons of fish and feeding over 3 million people. There are over 220 different species of fish in the lake. Number 10. Hanging Temple of Hangshan, China. Built more than 1,500 years ago, about one-third of the building body is hanging on a cliff near Mt. Hangshan. It is held aloft by many bars and poles chiseled into the rock. The cave-like interior protects it from strong wind. This temple is notable not only for its location clinging to a cliff face, roughly 250 feet above the ground, but also, it is the only temple with the combination of three religions, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. To support the monastery, oak beams are slotted into holes chiseled into the cliff face. In total, there are 40 chambers linked by winding passages and hallways. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the bell button to get new video updates.